What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Arrow, Season 6, Episode 16, The Thanatos Guild. So yeah, the whole plot takes a break for a second so we can focus on something completely different. And not necessarily something bad. I mean, I always liked Roy Harper, and I always, I wanted to see more about his story. I think Thea's still an interesting character. She's not really getting a whole lot of time this season. But, their story is fairly interesting, but it's just the fact that it comes completely out of nowhere. And it's like, you can't just let them leave the show. You have to take a whole episode to say, hang on, guys, we can't just let Thea and Roy leave. We have to have something happen to them for them to leave. They were just going to leave and live forever, happily ever after, and have a good life. But no! We have to give them something to do. I don't know if they're trying to set up another show, maybe, where it's Thea, Roy, and Nissa trying to track down the other Lazarus pits around the world. I don't know if that's what they're setting up, or if this is just something where it's like, oh no, we can't just have them leave and live happily ever after. We have to have something exciting for them to do. So they're leaving on a mission. If that's why they're doing it, then it's stupid. If there's a show involved, it's still stupid, but it's not as stupid because there actually is a point to it. But with all that being said, I mean, let's talk about the really important part of this. Dinah and Curtis's side of the story, man, I mean, wow. I got so excited for this side of it because on the one hand, we've already got at the beginning of this episode, we got Curtis saying how much he wants to be at Thea's party, and I'm thinking to myself, then go, dummy. But no, he's like, oh, that cake, it probably tastes really good, and yeah, it'd probably be fun to be over there, don't you? And Dinah's just like, no, we have to do this. We have to track down the dirty cops. I am obsessed with this, and I completely hate everyone over there because they lied to me. Curtis, I'm sorry. When you started this new team, didn't you guys start it because you felt like there shouldn't be, like, one person with so much like, that was part of the problem with Oliver, right? He kept things from you, and you felt like, you know what, we should be 100% real with each other. We should not be in control of each other. We should all be working together, not some of us working for another one. So go to the stupid party. She's not in charge of you. Who cares what she said? Look, when we started this team, I'm pretty sure we didn't want it to be one person in charge. So you're not technically the boss of me. So I really want to go say goodbye to Thea, so I'm going to head over to the party, alright? See ya. You can do this all on your own. But no, Curtis just sits there like, oh, okay, I'll keep doing what you say, I'm sorry. That was stupid. And then, as Curtis is looking through the files, he sees one guy, oh, hey, he's good looking. I'm like, oh my god. Seriously? Are you seriously about to take time out of this already completely complex, overstuffed plot to give Curtis a love story with a cop? Are you kidding me? They do. You know why? Here's why. Knowing this fan base, this is probably exactly how it happened. Oh, Stacy. What, Brittany? I just thought about it, and Curtis hasn't had, like, anybody on the show that he can, like, hook up with. Isn't that just nuts? Oh my gosh, Stacy, if you care so much about it, why don't you just tweet about it? You're right, I'm going to. Writers of Arrow, why are you so homophobic? Why don't you give Curtis somebody to love? Oh my gosh, I'm not watching your show anymore until you get someone. And the writers of Arrow, oh my gosh, we can't lose the one person that actually still enjoys our show. Let's give Curtis somebody to love. They're looking into the cops right now in the script, right? Well, let's just make one of those cops, let's make him gay, and then they can hook up. Yeah, let's do that. That's exactly, I guarantee 100% exactly how it happened. And for those of you saying that I did the Brittany and Stacy voices too well, it's because I'm an actor and I can embody that. But I mean, seriously, like, it's so pointless. Why on earth are we doing this? And the thing is, he meets the cop, he flirts with him a little bit, the cop flirts back, not even thinking, like, why are you down here what are you doing down here? No, he just completely lets it go, like, oh yeah, man, I'll give you a tour. I'll give you a tour of the entire police station. I'm just like, okay, what? He's in a place where he shouldn't be. Shouldn't you be like, you gotta get out of here? No, he's just like, okay, yeah, I'll give you a tour of everywhere. And then at the end of the episode, Curtis asks him out, and the guy says yes. I'm just like, So what was the point of all of this? Why are we taking time away to look at Curtis's love life? Do we even care? I mean, for those of us that honestly nobody really cares about this show anymore. But for those of us that are trying to watch to actually get some sort of story out of it, what does this contribute to anything? It's just another way for people, oh, we gotta appease all the girls out there that want to see people shipped with other people, and all those shippers out there, the Olicity shippers, those guys, we gotta appease people like that, so let's give Curtis someone too. It's just so stupid and it's pointless. The only way they could have salvaged this is make a joke out of it. If Curtis had gone up to him at the end of the episode, asked him out, and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm actually straight, and I'm married to a woman. I'm sorry that you feel that way." That would have been actually, like, it would have been stupid, but it would have been kind of funny, so it would have at least been a joke that you threw in to lighten the mood a little bit. But having it be where this guy's actually gay too, and then they end up hooking up, it just kind of feels like, so what, you're just randomly out of nowhere while all of this stuff is going on, all of these complicated storylines, you're just concerned about Curtis's love life? Like, that's the only reason why you did this? It's dumb. And then on top of that, they're finding out finally that the what's her face Hill in charge of it. They're finding out that she's dirty, which we already as the audience knew. So it's just waiting for them to finally catch up on the obvious. And it feels like more wasted time. Their entire story from Dinah to Curtis just completely pointless. And it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating that takes up at least a good third of this episode is with them. So, with all that being said, we go on to the other side of it, the Thanatos Guild. And we see Nyssa shows up just in time to save Thea and Roy as they're leaving town. Apparently there's this section of the League of Assassins, I was trying to remember their name for a second, that Merlin had apparently set up. And apparently they were looking for Thea, and they need her because they have this map, and it's supposed to lead them to something of importance, and there's some sort of going on. Don't really care. Unless this turns into something actually going on in another show, it's a completely pointless story. It's just kind of like here for one episode, gone the next. Pretty much, like I said at the beginning, they're looking for a map that's supposed to lead them to, I think they said 3 more Lazarus pits. Now, if this were part of the story, the overarching story for the season, I would be totally invested. That is interesting. It's an interesting concept. You've got 3 more Lazarus pits. How could you not be interested in that? However, because it doesn't connect to anything going on this season, it doesn't connect to Diaz, it doesn't connect to anything else, Nyssa, Thea, and Roy all leave the show. That's what it felt like. At the end of it, it's got the emotional music playing like, oh, we're never going to see Thea again. That's it. She's gone. Goodbye forever, Thea. Even though they're having season 7 somehow, despite the fact that this season has been total crap. Who knows? Maybe Willa Holland she needed to finish up her dialogue as Aqua for Kingdom Hearts 3. If that's the case, you go do you, Willa Holland. Be in better stuff than this show, because this show is crap. Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be awesome, I believe. But yeah, so with all that being said, that's pretty much all this episode is. There's the leader of this little cult, Athena. She shows up and then she's gone at the end of it. Even though she gets stabbed, she doesn't die somehow. So she's still around. I don't know if she's going to pop up later, if they're just once again saving her, if they're creating some new show out of this. Maybe it'll be like, maybe go on one of the animated shows and be a story on there. But whatever the case, I mean, that's pretty much their story for this episode. That's all it is. I mean, there's some side stories thrown in where it's like, Nyssa and Oliver are still married technically, even though he and Felicity are now married. This never really felt like a true marriage. It felt like something stupid because of the League of Assassins storyline in season 3 that really wasn't all that great. It was interesting at first and then got really stupid. But yeah, it just kind of felt pointless there. Nyssa never really seemed like she liked Oliver in the first place, so it never really truly felt, well, you can make a joke, they never really liked each other, just like a true marriage, am I right? But anyway. But yeah, it never really felt like it was a true thing, and so whenever she pops up and calls him husband, it's like they're just trying to make jokes between her and Felicity, where Felicity's like, doesn't really like Nyssa. And that's all it really is, it's just there to make pointless jokes that aren't even really that funny to begin with. There are a few funny things thrown in there, like the Indiana Jones joke they threw in. That was pretty enjoyable. But other than that, I mean, this story really did feel pointless. And, it's kind of been the feeling of this season. This season really feels pointless. It feels like after what happened with Prometheus, they didn't know what to do next, and so they're just like, I don't know, well, we got to throw in another guy who's smarter than Prometheus. So we're just going to have this guy step in, and it seems like, oh, he's super smart and really, really good. But it turns out he gets tricked by a smarter guy, and so now it's a plot twist, and we're all shocked. It doesn't catch me. It doesn't catch my attention at all. I'm just bored out of my mind watching all these episodes, waiting for something to happen. That's the thing. I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. Either it's just going to get so stupid that people are going to riot and just demand it be canceled, or one of the writers are just going to snap and be like, you know what? Screw this. I'm sick of writing the same boring crap every single season, so I'm going to write something interesting and then have an episode that's like actually really good. All of a sudden, Deathstroke pops back up and we're all like, yes, he's back. I don't think it'll happen because I think there was some sort of discrepancy with, they couldn't get the rights to his character and create his own show or something. Whatever the case, this show is in desperate need of something like Deathstroke to really get it back on track, to do something of interest. Because where last season it was boring the first half and then got interesting near the end of the season, this season started off with some interesting stuff. Brought Deathstroke in for a few episodes. I was fully on board, and then it just died off, and now since then it's just been terrible. Completely uninteresting, completely boring, and now it's a cluttered mess. We got so many side stories going on between, everything that happened with Caden James and now Diaz, now the, Director Hill, whatever her story is, Dinah and Curtis and Renee starting their own team. Now Renee's in the hospital. His daughter's with them. You got Felicity and Oliver hooking up, and Oliver's still got his son to deal with. He and Diggle. I love how, something I didn't mention, Diggle talks to Oliver again in this episode about, I thought I was supposed to be the Green Arrow, like, what's going on? I thought I was taking over for you. Dude, you've got a team of 2 now. You can't do this on your own. Like, whenever you had the team, yeah, that was fine. I'm sure Oliver, as soon as everything had ended, would have stepped down. Even if, he did have this feeling like, oh, I enjoy being the Green Arrow. No, it still made sense that he would, after everything was said and done, go back to being Oliver. But now the team is split up, which means it would be just you and Felicity. That's not enough. So Oliver has to stick around. Like, that has to happen. So I don't know. I just found it weird that he didn't even consider that. He's just like, no, I got this. I could totally do it on my own, even though, I can't really shoot straight or anything. But yeah, that's another storyline going on. Now you got Thea and Roy leaving. They added this story with Nyssa and the League of Assassins for this one episode. Curtis getting a lover. Quentin dealing with Laurel, her trying to change her life around and all that stuff. There's just so much stuff going on, and none of it feels interesting at all. So, anyway, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on this episode? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe. Future Arrow reviews. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.